And welcome back. Our final conversation this morning is all about Johnson's free tutoring program. We have been joined by two teachers. We have with us Clementina Castillo Johnson. Good morning.
Good morning.
We also have with us Kyra Sutherland.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
morning. Ladies. Now, this initiative of yours was covered a year ago as part of Sabrina's Bright Side. And I'm understanding that it has simply taken off from there in terms of the number of students you guys are catering to and the interest in after-school assistance in terms of education and what have you. Let's start there. What has it been like since last year or since the beginning of the initiative to this point where you are in terms of the number of kids that are coming in terms of the services that you're also able to offer this time around?
Okay, Johnson's free tutoring program, like you mentioned earlier, Sabrina, well, she accompanied us last year to the Belize Zoo when we had our educational tour trip, and so we were featured on the Bright Side with Miss Sabrina. Last year we had 62 students. We were still under a tarp and chairs, and now we have a newly built tutoring center. So we're grateful for that, because Johnson's free tutoring program is a free tutoring program. Students come in, get assistance after school for free. Projects are being done with them for free. We do printing for free. All these things are being done for free. Last year we had 62 students, and then this year we had 92 for the summer special.
So it just keeps growing.
Yes. It just keeps growing. It just keeps growing.
Miss Tina, I want to take it back even further for those that don't know the story and what led me to join you guys on the zoo tour. This entire initiative started during the pandemic, where kids were stuck at home having to do these packages and online learning, and they didn't really have access that in-person teacher experience. Yourself, you are a teacher, and you decided to offer that right under your house, correct?
Correct.
Give us that story.
All right, in July of 2021, during that time, kids were not allowed to be in the classroom for face-to-face learning because of the pandemic. So I was on long leave, I took long leave. And this summer, the July, I decided, why not offer my service to the kids? And during that time, the SIs were set in place that we could only have a certain amount of people in an area at a particular time. So we only started off with 25 students. We had morning and afternoon session. And that was the summer, and we just did academics. They come in, and then I did the major courses, mathematics, language arts, so that they could grasp the concept that were lacking. And from there, from there we turned it into an after-school program, whereby kids come in the evening time with their packages from school, and then they get that assistance with assignment and tutoring so that they could grasp the concepts that they're lacking. Last year, summer, we eventually turned into an annual summer program, and so we call it now the summer special. We do it for 2 weeks. The first week, now we do academics, because they have been in the classroom for an entire year, so we don't want to drain them all summer. So we do academics the first week, and then the second week we have week of activities, whereby we end it off with a educational tour trip and a closing ceremony whereby they get their certificates, because it's a registered program.
What's really important to share is that at the inception of this initiative, this was a one-man team. You were doing this on your own, inviting these kids at your home, under your house, and helping them with their packages. And, excuse me, eventually it evolved, and more kids started pouring in because they wanted help with their packages as well. Yes. They wanted that classroom experience because they were stuck at home and overwhelmed by this pandemic. Yes. Eventually, the numbers grew, and other teachers and parents started volunteering.
Yes.
And that's where Miss Kyra came into the picture, who's also a teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Teacher Sutherland, talk to us about when you decided to join this initiative, this program, and do your part as well.
I decided to join the program when I get a call from Mrs. Johnson. And when she talked to me about the situation, I said, okay, it's a good thing. And I said, you know what, I'm ready to join. Once it have to do with kids, I'm ready to join. And we just continue from there. And she said to me that she needed charts and stuff for her newly building. And I said, yes, that's not a problem because I make charts and stuff like that. And then we just continue on from there. But I said, for the summer, man.
It's tiring because
It's very tiring.
you know, a lot of people, they look at teachers and they think during the summer break, they have an entire 2 months of vacation because
That's
the
true.
kids are away. And that also, I have to mention it, I think it really speaks to the passion of you ladies because during the pandemic, you guys were still working, making these manuals, sending them to the students and the parents, but you still try to find a way to incorporate some aspect of in-person connection with these kids, which you did not have to do. In fact, it was recommended not to be in person, but you took that step simply because you wanted these kids to be educated in the most effective way as possible because the challenge was, you know, being at home, it's hard to learn online. The packages, they don't feel like they're really grasping the information. And here's the next thing. Guys, you don't get paid. This is something that you're doing
for free
from your own pockets. Let's talk about that.
For us, well, this year we grew, we had 92 students. So, you know, myself along with Miss Sutherland, and then we also had Miss Jessica Sanchez and Miss Kelsey Castellano. In order for run this program, because we don't charge, they go on trips for free, the bus free, we even lunch for free. So, you know, we can't do it on our own. So hence the reason why we seek sponsorship, be it international or local donors. And it was possible. I mean, we have people like Read and Feed Belize, Ashrenals, they are international. Dr. Zab assisted us, you know, our minister. We have, I mean, there are so many people, and then we're so grateful for that. You know, we could talk about when the building was going up, we had Newton Myvet from Alpha One. Dr. Alice Smith, she gave us the idea because I told her I only wanted a tent. And then she said, no, let's start with a
bigger.
concrete. She said, start with a concrete foundation. So, you know, I'm really grateful for Dr. Alice Smith, you know, and Honorable Fonseca, he assisted us as well, Francis. So we have that sponsorship. I mean, because we're open. Because kids come in and then so they get the materials for free, everything they do for free. Dr. Joseph, you know, Angela Joseph, she was the one that actually paid for their tour and lunch at Spice Farm. So, I mean, with all these donors and sponsorship, that's what caused the program, that's what keeps the program up and going. So, you know, anybody who would, you know, would say, okay, I have this, you know, I believe you'll have use for it. We're open to that because at the end of the day, it's not for us, but for the benefit of the children in our community.
How do you feel seeing the impact of what you're doing on the children in Dangriga?
That as an educator, that's a good feeling because teaching is my passion. I would always say, you know, I'm not a creative teacher. Miss Kyra, Miss Jessica, and Miss Kelsey, they are the creative one. But I'm good when it comes to executing lesson, you know, ensuring that the student grasp that concept. That's my specialty, I would say. So it's a good feeling because you get that feedback from parents when it's time for report card. They would send you their child's result. Miss, I'm so grateful. Thank you for what you're doing for us. This is what my child got. He's now on a roll. So it's a good feeling. Hopefully we plan to branch off into other districts soon. Like I mentioned earlier to Miss Sabrina, next summer we want to do a special in here in Belize City. We'll start with Belize City since Miss Sutherland is from here. So we want to start, you know, off with Belize City next summer.
So I want to go back. It started with a team of one, and then it grew to having about 4 or 3 other persons with you. So now it's 4 teachers
Yes, 4.
with over 90 students.
Yes.
Talk about how that is. I mean, that's a lot of kids. Stretching yourselves. Aside from your day jobs, which is teaching these kids, you have to divide 90-something children between 4 teachers.
We do a rotational base because we can't have everybody in one because of the different level. So we have morning and afternoon session. We have standard 1, 2, and 3 in the morning time, and then 4, 5, and 6 in the afternoon time. So they don't come all in one until the second week when we do activities, because we had crazy day, we had community workers day, we had our field trip day, we had sports day, and the closing ceremonies. So, and then we handle them good enough. And then in the evening time, when it comes to after school program, we don't actually have the entire 92. Like we will have maybe, let's say 30 to 35 in the evening time.
Okay.
It's when it's summer especially, it actually gets big.
That's when you have the big crowd, like the zoo trip that we went on, which was honestly, I'm here sitting with you now, Teacher Johnson, and it feels full circle because a year ago, I was with you guys touring the zoo, and now we're talking about the update of the program.
Yes.
How does it feel knowing what this program has evolved into? Did you ever imagine that having these kids, trying to help them during the pandemic, would lead to establishing a foundation, a place where now you can gather aside from your own home and actually serve these children in your community in this way?
Well, that's a feeling of joy. For me, I love what I'm doing because I give back to my community. I mean, the children are our future, and not everybody get that opportunity because of the pandemic. I mean, the economic had dropped, so some parents lost their job. A few people are still trying to recover from the pandemic, and not everybody could afford that private tutor. So for me, like, that brings joy to my heart, and they could actually come in, because we have students in the classroom, when they go to school, sometimes they don't complete their assignment or they don't have the project, and maybe they might be, teachers may question about why you don't, you don't have your assignment, but at the end of the day, we don't know what that child's situation is at home. Sometimes they don't even have that dollar to buy a Bristol board, to go out and buy crayon. And then as educators, like, we might target that child, and then that's not fair for that student. So coming to Johnson's free tutoring program, assisting this child, and for this child to go in the classroom, to have his assignment, his or her assignment, and feel good like every other student, and don't feel left out and feel in a corner like I'm being, put aside because I don't have my assignment.
So here's a real scenario though. I mean, with the little money that some families have, you have a tough decision. Do you eat or do you buy the school supplies, right? And so the thinking is that you can't function if you don't eat properly. So you can't say you'll buy the Bristol board and the folder sheet or whatsoever, and then you go into school on a hungry belly because you still won't be productive, right? So I'm glad that you guys as teachers are able to recognize some of these real situations that these kids find themselves in.
Yes, so they could they come in, and then we have, well, with donations that are given to us, we keep them, and they could actually come in and they get those things for free, and then mommy doesn't have to worry about I don't have the money to buy the Bristol board or anything of that sort. So we're here to provide for these students.
Yeah, I remember you calling them your babies.
They are, be near or far, they are my babies.
They're your babies.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Let's talk about the vision now. Now that we've seen how far and how big this program has evolved in such a short space of time, 2.5 years. What's your vision now?
My vision is to expand in other districts. But for now, I'm focused home, because this year we actually had students who, parents send their child from Belize City to Danriga. We had about 4 Belize City students.
Wow.
And then we had about 3.
Belize.
We have 3 that came all the way from California to be with us. We had from Hope Creek, from Pomona. So they find their way to Johnson's free tutoring program. So for us, our future goal is to try to see if we could acquire a property whereby we could actually expand our tutoring center, our program, so that we could actually cater for more, and then from there, we could, branch off into other districts. But we need to ensure that we find teachers that has the passion and that will dedicate their time, like how, we dedicate our time.
Yeah. Ms. Kyra, I want to get your overall experience so far, because it started with Teacher Johnson, but you saw the impact that it was creating, and you decided that you wanted to serve as well. Now that you are over a year in this, it's kind of too late to jump out now. They probably feel like your babies too, right? What is your feeling being a part of a movement like this?
Well, I'm not jumping out. So whatever Miss Johnson decides to do, I will just have to support her in whatever. She said like her vision is to maybe eventually branch off. So I guess for the Belize City branch, I will be here for the Belize City branch.
Fully on board.
Fully on board.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, I am always excited when I hear about Teacher Johnson and what they're up to, the program. I might just have to do a part 2 of what's taking place. But I want to congratulate you for such an amazing job from the inception to where it is now, how it has evolved in such a short space of time. I obviously, and I think I speak for myself, maybe even some of the viewers, we could see that there's passion involved in this project. And a lot of times teachers don't get that credit because they think that, they just show up and they teach these kids and that's it. They get a summer break and they get the longest vacation. But you guys are working through that as well. And you still have to prepare your classes for the new school year. So I want to say congratulations to you. I want to give you your flowers right here, right now, for everyone, and say how much we appreciate the work that you do for the kids in Dangriga and for the kids to come.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take our final break, and when we come back, we wrap things up.